I've talked with the doctor, and he's assured me that horror movies are good for you. Johnny Depp begs to disagree, but that's all right. He's in the movie, and he'll escape. Because horror movies are escape fantasies. Whether we see them because we're escaping boredom or the complexity of our own problems, they lessen the scale of our own dilemmas by having us witness someone else's more perilous predicament. When the movie is over and we escape back into our own reality, the comparison makes us more thankful for the life we're living. And when you think of self-preservation, whether it's by identifying with Jodie Foster or someone else, reflected twice, battling alone, when you think of this basic survival instinct as the need to preserve a certain homeostatic balance between pleasure and pain, where your baseline of happiness rises with joy and falls with sorrow, you can see how horror movies help maintain that balance by taking us into the realm of fear, only to give us the uplift of relief. After plunging into the worst depths, we return to a relatively safe existence. And that's an example of one of the many conjectures we entertain when we try to fathom why horror storylines remain a popular attraction. But that's not the main reason for the course we're going to take during this class that will help us understand the dynamics of shot selection and input from the movie crew. Because I want to interest you in making movies, I want you to understand the expense of this art form and how at the beginning you can limit your cost. Cost is a very important factor in choosing horror over other genres. For example, if we want to shoot an action-adventure picture, or a caper-filled comedy, or a buddy comedy with circus and farm animals, or a sci-fi fantasy, the size of the budget will probably be larger than if we choose to make a paranormal fright movie. But if we're looking for a genre that would take less money to make than horror, what about romantic comedy? Two people fall in and out of love and end up happily together. How expensive could that be? Consider, however, how many romantic comedies getting distribution don't have stars in the leading roles? Whether it's Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, Fiennes and Paltrow, Brosnan and Thompson, Grant and About Anybody Else, Anston and Sandler, Diaz and About Anybody Else. Think of how much it costs to have a star in your movie. 10 million? 20 million? With horror movies, on the other hand, audiences rarely attend because of star power. Remember Her? Or Her? Or Her? Not only will the victims be relatively unknown, the agents of evil are often disguised, making the point of who is playing the character superfluous. And when it comes to the actors that we're meant to identify with as the hero, stars playing these roles lessen what is at stake in the story, since we're accustomed to believing that with stardom comes triumph. Like Rutger Hauer in Hobo with a Shotgun, why cast a star if it's going to be a spoiler? Okay, so we have our long list of affordable, forgettable, expendable actors. But what about all those spooky special effects that contribute to the overall squeamishness we feel while watching the movie? Don't they inflate the budget?